What is going on, everybody? Art 80 here for another Life of Dad show. With me is my homie, John Finkel. What's up, sir?
I'm psyched, dude. Baseball playoffs last night. We get a 13-inning game. Like we had planned to talk about the best playoff memories, and I'm sure we'll do a World Series show a little later on. But baseball it's a long, tough season to watch. But the playoffs, I know people say it about hockey too, but like the baseball playoffs are always a little something special for me. Sox fan, it's the only time I really tune into non-Red Sox baseball games. Anyway, last night was a great start, and we have tonight Yankees-A's, and then Sox start, and who plays that. So I am excited. It is one of my favorite topics. I got to kind of – my dates and memory of stuff aren't great. So I got to kind of Google and rewatch the YouTube highlights of some of my favorite baseball memories.
Nice, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the show too. I know, I was watching the Rockies Cubs, like you said last night, looking to see how they're doing, and you saw the Rockies that were going back and forth, traveling here, traveling there, and they won in the 13th inning, so good for them. And they had a tough road ahead of them. But anyways, before we get into it, we want to give a shout out to because we're going to be talking more about this as well, but. We want to give a shout out to our sponsor for this week. It's Relay. Go to relaygo.com. Cool thing about Relay is that it's a screen-free smartphone alternative that kids love and parents can trust. It's easy to use just as a walkie-talkie and works everywhere. Relay eliminates the distraction of screens without sacrificing the safety of ease of communication and allows parents to feel comfortable letting the kids go and be kids and explore the world. It's a win-win for the parents and the kids. For more information, go to relaygo.com, relaygo.com. John and I have them. My daughters love them because it's something new and they have more responsibility on them. So we're appreciative of Relay checking us out and sponsoring the show. We encourage you guys to go to RelayGo as well. John, so what was obviously you and I are Red Sox fans and all that. Talk about do you remember your first playoff game, your first memory? Was it with your dad? Was it with your family? Talk a little bit about that, man.
Yeah, so I remember we moved around a lot when I was a kid. I remember my dad was always a Red Sox fan. This is before you could have a baseball package, before you could have any of those kind of things. And so my earliest memories, for whatever reason, are the 88 World Series. Kirk Gibson, we were living in L.A., or we had just moved from LA. I remember that. I remember the earthquake game. I don't remember what exactly year that was. I should have looked it up. The year there was an earthquake in.
I think it was 89, right?
That 89, yeah. I remember that very, very well. I remember that he's shaking, we're shaking, that whole thing.
That was Chris Berman too, right?
I think so. I don't know. Well, that's very Googleable. But yeah, those are probably my two earliest memories. I guess technically I should back up. My first memory, though, it's not a baseball memory, is 86. I'm staying up late to watch the World Series with my dad. I'm only 7 years old, and I remember the ball going through Buckner's legs, or at least my dad waking me up. And then I remember my dad kicking the television set after the ball went through. That I remember. I don't remember much. I'd be lying if I said I remember anything about the game or whatever, but that I remember very, very well.
Nice. Yeah. Especially in sports or in any store, we love, for the hero or the player to get some redemption. And I love the fact that Buckner came back after the Red Sox won a few World Series. He came up on the mound. People were cheering. I'm like, it's weird that I'm getting goosebumps about that moment, but I am.
Yeah.
So I love seeing that. We have a couple people weighing in already. Steven says, hope it's tonight, meaning his favorite baseball memory.
Yeah, that's my man Steve. Give him a little love. Some of his other teams aren't doing so well right now, so we'll see what he says about the Yanks. Because all it does is buy them 3 days until they get swept by the Sox. So let them have tonight. I don't care.
Nice. Stephen Love says, I've never watched MLB, soccer fan from Scotland. Here's the thing. I'm surprised he didn't say football fan, but I'm messing around with you, Stephen. I say one show, we bring on a couple of guys from England or Europe or wherever who's and they'll we'll do a dummies guide to American sports, and they teach us how to watch soccer or football or cricket or whatever the right way and all that stuff. We should have a little education on both sides. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think the problem is the education part. It's so hard. There was a brief moment when I was hey, let's try to get into watching some soccer. Me and you, I have a lot of friends, especially younger guys that are really big into, the UEFA, and I don't care. Try.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate your honesty. I love the fact that everyone is loving the fact that Randy Johnson went duck hunting, or in this case, seagull hunting, when he's hit by a pitch, man.
That's one of the craziest moments in all of history, actually. I don't even think you could – I would love like Neil deGrasse Tyson to put together all the physics and all of the odds that would have to happen for at that moment, a 100-mile-an-hour fastball to hit a bird going 25 miles an hour, 2 feet off the ground, exactly into the strike zone without trying.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Randy's been saying, like, I'm going to stand here and I'm going to try to peg these birds as they fly across. Like, the entire thing happened by happenstance. So I would love to see that for sure.
Wayne says, watching the Dodgers versus A's World Series. My dad was a big Dodger fan, and I love the A's. That's cool. I love the fact that there is rivalry in the house. One of the things here in North Carolina that I see a lot is a license plate that says house divided, and it's either NC State logo and a Duke logo, or a UNC, or put that in there, or Alabama and then NC State for football, and then baseball there was a Red Sox Yankees. So
I don't know about the Alabama NC State. There's not much. There's really not a whole lot of issue happening. I think Alabama just kind of moves through their day, wipes their feet with the Wolfpack, and moves on with their lives.
You got a lot of I don't know. You got some grit in you today, man. It's like, it's the baseball season or whatever, but man, you're just leveling everything right now. I love it.
Bring it.
Like what type of sweating before 6 did you do today? What were you working on?
Today was a little. I usually lifted yesterday, so today was a lot of jump rope, a lot of kettlebell swings, a lot of active stuff going on. So
gotcha.
I try to switch it up. So I've been jacked up all day, ready to go.
Nice.
Typically, we got John Rivera here.
Also, speaking of, too, we're going to make announcements, and also to follow John at John_Finkel, me, Art83, and of course, Life of Dad show on Twitter and Life of Dad on Instagram. But we're actually doing a show next Monday instead of like our normal time. We're going to be doing it prime time, baby, because you just thought about jacked up. We're going to be doing it right around the halftime of Monday Night Football. We're going to have our interview with Jared Allen, obviously former NFL player. Yes. Now working with the American Alliance Football Association or League. We'll be talking to him. You're going to hear the Life of Dad Quick 5 with him. So I just want to give you that, especially, we're talking baseball, but football next Monday, special time, special date. Mark your calendars. We want you to be there. We might even give away some Life of Dad swag, so make sure you're there. And another thing, too, I love the fact that people are being honest and true to us. Christopher says, I'm an Orioles fan. My baseball memories are kind of slim. We had one guy talking about the Mariners, too, so this is cool, man. I love the fact that people are showing their love.
People have knocked, and as well they should. Like, I get it. We're both Sox fans, so we can kind of step away from the Sox for a little while. But like, there are so many franchises that just don't have a whole lot to choose from. So like, when a team like the Royals a few years ago actually busts through and makes something happen, like, it becomes amazing. And like, even when the Cubs won, like, you get into it on a whole different level because you kind of start following the story of the playoffs, which happens now for the next month or so. And so you kind of live vicariously through them if you happen to be on one of these teams where there's just not a whole lot going on. The teams that I really feel for, honestly, now are teams like the Angels, where you have these superstar players in Trout, you've got Ohtani, you've got all these reasons to watch, but there's just no postseason there. It's like, if you want to have your guys. I remember early on in the 90s when like Nomar was big, like, you want these guys to have the moment and have the time to, perform on the biggest stage. And if they're just never getting there, you never get those memories that you could possibly have by, big comebacks, the things that, Sox teams have kind of made a staple over the years of.
Yeah, I agree. And I just want to kind of talk about what Hayes is saying over here. Sid Bream sliding a home save against the Pirates, and Dave Justice jumping on top of him, home celebrating. Now, the Braves were kind of the team that were like dominating the NL, but would never finish it by winning the World Series, right?
They got one World Series in there. But yeah, for like 10 years, you had, legendary Bobby Cox, right? You had manager, you've got Smoltz Glavine, and what's his face? Smoltz Glavine, and who's the third guy they had there? Maddox. So they had those three guys, basically Cy Young Cy Youngs every year. They got 3 guys who could win it on their whole thing. Then you have your roster of like Andrew Jones and Chipper Jones, and like they were an all-star team basically, and every year they'd make it, and then every year they'd eventually get beat by somebody. But this was, again, before having the MLB package and before that stuff. You knew, or at least I knew the Braves team as well as I knew any team because they were in the World Series or at least in the playoffs every single year. And so Braves fans, especially because of TBS, like they have huge following in the Southeast because, before you could get your team down there, the Braves were that was programming for them. It was like Law and Order and the Braves. That was it.
Nice, man. Yeah, and that was nice. And I think that could be, people say like, America's team is the Cowboys in the NFL. Back then, man, I would say that the Braves were like America's baseball team because everybody knew them. And if your team in your market wasn't that great, it's like, I'll root for these guys because they weren't the dreaded Yankees because they have a huge payroll and Steinbrenner and all that stuff. So yeah. I felt like that was something where people would cheer for, and they just and you wanted to see them win. They won one, sure, but you wanted to see them win more with their pitching staff and all that. Nate says Altuve to Guerrero for the Astros win.
Pretty good.
And here's another thing, John, I want to ask you too for this, because I know you're a hat guy. I am too. Do you buy like those World Series championship hats, or do you buy the playoff hats? The reason why I'm asking is one of my friends, his mom one time bought like a shirt and a hat thing when I think either it was the Patriots or the Red Sox won. And it was only like a division thing. He's like, I'm not wearing that. That's superstitious. I'm not going to wear that until like a World Series or something or Super Bowl. So I got to ask you, like, do you have right, Patrick, you're feeling us right now. Love that, man. We'll get to that in a second. But do you buy those hats at all, or are you not getting them?
I am completely against any of those types of, not because of the jinxing thing. I've been over that for years. 04 cured me of all of that kind of stuff. But like, I am against all special edition like World Series issued Red Sox hat or the big pennant on the shirt. Like, I don't like that stuff. I've never bought any special hat, whether it's any sport that says like World Series champions. Like, I kind of use it like go with the hat that got you there. Like, all of my Red Sox hats look like they're 20 years old because they probably are. Same with my Bruins hat, my Patriots hat. I get a hat, I'll wear it till whatever. The only time I've ever done anything with a hat that has to do with anything is 03 down in Florida watching Game 7 with my dad and my uncle, Sox Yankees. Where this was headed, Aaron Boone, home run. My parents lived on like a lanai in Florida, and I had the Sox hat that I was wearing that day, which I'd probably had for 15 years. I ran out the back and just chucked it in the water and never was let it just sink, and hopefully the alligators ate it. So that's probably the only time I've let a game affect my actual head apparel.
Okay, nice, man. For me, like I rarely get those hats, but I know some people love to collect them and all that good stuff. We got Steven saying Indians versus Cubs World Series Game 7. And then John Riviera says, last game I went to was Jeter's 3,000 hit. Had an amazing time. That's cool. And then our boy right here, Patrick, we're feeling that. That Dave Roberts 2004 season when he stole. I mean, for me, that season meant so much because the day that they canceled was a Game 4, I believe, Game 4. The day that they canceled Game 4 in October was my wedding day. And I remember I was in New Jersey, and half the people that were in the wedding were Sox fans, half the people were Yankees fans. And my friends and I think I've told the story before, either on a podcast or here on Facebook Live, but I remember my friend, he rented like an Escalade because it was me and him and another couple of guys that were my wedding party. We were going to watch a few games, play poker in New Hampshire, and then drive down and then check out the other game in the hotel rooms. And by the third game, we were just like, all right, at least Art's getting married. We got something to be happy about because now the Yankees are up 3-0. There's nothing that's going to happen. And I remember telling the DJ, I'm like, hey, you just announce that the Sox and Yankees game is canceled. We're not, they're not showing it because we were going to have it in the bar section at the outside the reception area. And they're like, all right, cool. And then so everyone was like, fine, they didn't have to do that. And then I remember watching that series come back while I was on my honeymoon in Playa del Carmen, man. And that was great. I was watching it in Spanish. It was great.
Yeah, so that year was funny for us because that Game 3, the big blowout game, was I had my brother and I were living together in LA, and my uncle came to visit, and we all decided to go out to dinner because of the time zone and tape the game. And Boner's just killing me right now. Look, that's actually a good move. I have two stories. So the first one is
got two.
What's that?
I said, "Oh, we got two."
Yeah. No, real quick. So we went out to dinner and we wanted to pause. We would tape the game. We'd all watch it at home, but each of us secretly, like when we go to the bathroom or something, because we went to a really nice dinner, we're checking the score on the phone. But nobody wanted to tell anybody else that we had checked the score. So we all basically found out after watching that month's awful game that we all knew what happened. We knew they got blown out, but nobody wanted to be the one who said that they actually knew the score. So we all actually suffered through it knowing the outcome, pretending the whole time that we didn't know, so we didn't ruin it for anybody else.
All right.
And then the next day we have the Robert Steele, Bill Miller and the whole thing. It's fantastic. So look, the beauty of it is after that moment, the Sox have won 3 World Series. So it's like, it's hard to go back to that gut wrenching down 0-3. We lost whatever it was, 19-8. Wakefield in there just getting, just doing yeoman's work. Somebody had to go in. And it was like, especially after the year before at 0-3, it was just brutal. And so when you win that many World Series, we're coming into this with this amazing season of this year's playoffs. It's real hard to go back to that mental state of being a Sox fan on the eve of being down 0-3 in that, it was just, everything was different. The whole world was different, I feel like.
Yeah.
And it all hung on the axis of the Red Sox-Yankees series, I think.
Nice. Let's see. I know that there's a couple other stories. You had one more story, right, about the hat?
Oh, no, we can go past on that one. I was going to say what we could do is go through, since I don't want to be too Sox-Yankees heavy show, like some of the non-Red Sox, moments that we remember. And for me, it's a tough one because I know the result was, I know the result, but the Yankees win the World Series. But when Luis Gonzalez hit the game winner, that was pretty awesome. I mean, it was after 9/11. I was obviously happy for the Yankees to lose. But when he hit that little blooper and the Diamondbacks won, especially after like the incredible pitching performances of Schilling and Randy Johnson, like in terms of memorable moments, you get, when Bush threw out the pitch, the whole thing was pretty awesome. And so I think that to me was one of the better non-Red Sox baseball moments that was out there.
Nice, man. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We on for about 20 minutes, our usual time. Like I said, John and I are doing a special thing on Monday. We're going to be doing a show at halftime. And so we hope you guys can, hang out with us too. It's kind of like, we're not going to be like Maroon 5. I think we might be even more entertaining than them. We'll see what happens. But we're going to be sharing our interview with Jared Allen. But who do you predict winning tonight, man? Yankees or A's?
I actually want the Yankees to win so that we can beat the Yankees. And we haven't met them in the playoffs in a long, long time.
Yeah.
Baseball just feels different. Playoffs feel different when the Sox, Yankees. I think for the good of the game, as much as Oakland's been long suffering and all that, we all know an Oakland Red Sox series will not have the weight or gravity of a Red Sox Yankee series. And I think so. I think that's what I'm not rooting. I think what I'll do is just kind of enjoy the game. But if the Yankees win, it's all good. And, plus Sox, the pain to have to fly all the way to Oakland in the game, the whole series, the time zone thing gets all messed up. So we can keep it here for a little bit. But it's Sox Yanks, it's good. It's been a while. I think it'll be nice to have. And so that is what I'm going to go with that. I'm going to say Yanks win tonight. All
right, I'm going to say A's win just to be different. Thanks to
we forgot about our Be Live award that we haven't mentioned.
Oh, that's right. Well, we got just caught up in the whole postseason, October time. Thanks for everybody, checking the show out. Be Live is doing a kind of an awards ceremony, and we're in the top male entertainment for Be Live. So we appreciate the nomination. There is a link under on this Facebook page on Life of Dad. I think if you scroll down a little bit, we should actually put the link here in the show as well. We'll probably do that. But vote for us. We're very humbled to be nominated. Congrats to all the other nominees. But pretty cool to get that information today, right?
Yeah, I kind of wrote a thing like Facebook Live is still a very new-ish platform, and so like I really appreciate all our kind of regular guys who are on here watching us, every day. And we're going to experiment with some new times, like Art said, coming up, this coming week. We think maybe there's a probably a good chance that more people are available and can be around at a 9 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time slot while we're watching some games, hanging out. So I think if we switch that up, we will. Steve's asking how people vote. There'll be a link in there if you want to go to mine or Art's Twitter feed. We both retweeted the actual vote. So it's me at John_Finkel and Art is at ArtEddie3. So go out there if you guys have a minute while you're doing this. You can go on and vote there. Here's the link right here. Just put it in the comments section. If you're on watching right now, just click there, vote for us. But what I was saying is, like, it's a new medium, and Be Live we rely on as the platform to make sure it looks this way so you guys can see the comments and we can see the stuff. So they are starting to put out their awards, and a lot of the nominees are, been kind of with the entire media and platform since day one. So like you said, Art, congratulate them for getting out there and putting out cool content, but also we're in it to win it. So let's go. Let's get everybody who's watching this show to vote. We don't come in this thing to be second place, right? So get in there, get after it, vote, have a friend vote, and hopefully I think the awards ceremony that they're having is on the 14th. So hopefully on the 15th we'll be having our show and we'll let you know how we did.
Yeah, no doubt. Thanks again for checking us out this week. You guys have a good rest of the week, and we'll see you all Monday at night. What time? Like, what do you think? Like Monday Night Football?
9:30.
Between 9:45 and 10, right?
Somewhere around there, yeah. 9:30, 9:45 Eastern, 8:45-ish Central where I am. And we'll see. It'll be a good time. I mean, a nice and easy thing to pop up on your phone while it's around halftime. And we'll pick a guest time. We'll guess a time somewhere around the start of the game. But we'll look forward to seeing you then.
All right. Everybody have a good rest of the day. See you.